Welcome back again to Yoga at Home with Liz Heller. It's good to see you again. Before we start class today, it's basically for beginners or people that have done it a long time ago maybe and getting back to it again. And I was reading a yoga journal the other day and I came across some really wonderful words that I'd like to share with you today. Just as a reminder, yoga was developed, as some of you may know, in India over 5,000 years ago. And it was developed by ancient rishis, R-I-S-H-I-S, and they were seers. And they were creating a method of using the body and breath to tame the wildest beast. And guess what that is? Your mind. And you'll see today when we work on our Tadasana, when we work on our Savasana at the end, sometimes it's hard to just shut your mind down and quiet your mind. And so you're going to be uniting your movement, your asana, with your breath. That's the whole goal of why they started yoga, being in the moment. Prana is your life force, your breath. The goal of yoga is not to perfectly perform an asana. Instead, you're trying to practice increasing your prana, your energy, your breath, your life force in your body. And then take this positive energy out and make the world a better place. Prana is our fuel. Prana is our life. The practice of yoga increases this life force in our being through breath and through the direction of energy, drawing your attention toward the part that you're working on in your body. That's what they mean by that. By controlling and consciously utilizing your breath, you feed every cell in your body, and you relax your mind, and your nervous system is calmed. You'll receive some personal benefits from the practice too, but it's important to share these good vibes that we get from practicing yoga and good energy and positive effects with others. Keep it simple, keep it real. So two of the poses or asanas in yoga look very easy. But as I said, the hardest part is learning to get your chatter out of your head and calming your brain, your mind. So in a minute, we're going to stand up and practice Tadasana, which is standing mountain. And at the end of the class, we'll do Savasana, which is a corpse pose where you're lying down flat. Tadasana and Savasana look easy, but they can seem the most advanced postures because for many of us, it can be very hard to be still. We do these two asanas over and over and over, but the trick is to pay very close attention and make choices in the moment instead of thinking, I've got this, this is easy. Don't worry about being perfect, whether it's here or in more complicated poses or in life in general. Do what's wise for you in the moment, no matter how different that is from what you did yesterday or in your last practice, or what the person next to you in the class is doing today. This is what being a smart yoga practitioner is all about. So those are just some nice mindful words, I think, that we can keep focusing on today as we go through some poses. So we're going to start in Tadasana, which is standing mountain. So let's stand up. And there's 6 basic steps to follow in doing standing mountain. So first of all, you want to have the hardest way is having your feet all the way together with the balls of your feet touching. And then you put your heels out a little bit. If you feel wobbly and this is not a good stance for you, widen your stance a little bit. And then take your heels and move them out. Your big toes, your heel should be pointing to your second and third toe. So it's a little bit with the heels fanned out and that heel lining up with the second and third toes. So that's step 1. Then from there, we did that. We want to work on balancing the weight on our feet. So you don't want to roll your arches out and be on the outsides of your feet, nor do you want to roll it in. So you're trying to find a balance on those long bones on the side of your feet and your arch. So you do that next. Then you pick up your kneecaps and engage them, contract them. And at the same time, contract your quadriceps, your thighs. Okay? Then we're going to turn our biceps, which are right here, and our hands out and open up. This will open up our heart chakra too with a nice alignment. Then we want to make sure your neck isn't forward. Draw your neck back in line with your spine and keep your palms open. Then the last step is the sixth step, and that's practicing lifting your ribs up away from your pelvis. So standing nice and strong, take a big inhale, pulling those ribs way up away from your pelvis, and on an exhale, slowly let them float back down. 9 more breaths. More breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. So if you practice that at home, just standing mountain, Tadasana, and if that was pretty easy for you and you want to advance it a little bit, try closing your eyes and working on your balance at the same time. That adds a whole nother element to it. So that's standing mountain. Okay, now we want to go down to the floor in a seated position. However you are comfortable. If you can pick your other foot up and it's comfortable to put on top, do that. If that doesn't work for you, just fold it down underneath. And you want to make sure that your head is drawn back over your spine. And the same thing again now that we just did, relaxing. Let's just take 5 breaths here and let's close our eyes. Focusing on 5 breaths, lifting those ribs up and then letting them come down. If you practice your yoga breath, you'll inhale and your belly will fill up with air, and on the exhale, the belly will go back in. That's kind of opposite of how we normally breathe when we bring it all up on top. So let's practice 5 yoga breaths, focusing on the ribs lifting away from the pelvis and making your abdominals move out, drawing that air, filling that all up through your chest, your diaphragm, and your belly. Here we go. Close your eyes if you want to. Breathe it in and out. And in and out. Big breaths, expanding those ribs. Here we go again for 3. 4. And 5. Okay, that should center you and you're ready to begin some asanas. The first one is a spine twister to get those vertebrae to turn around and twist. So sitting nice and tall, put your right hand on your left knee. Your left hand goes behind you, kind of like an old fence, and it's going to prop your spine up. So you're going to lift up your spine, lift your chest up, stay firm in both of your sit bones. Keep them grounded to your mat, and then turn your head to the left. So you're still sitting tall, neck's up above your spine, but your spine is twisting. Let's go to the other side now. When you do your twist, engage your abdominals. Make them do the turn for you. Lift up, put your hand behind, use your abdominals, pull yourself around. That back shoulder is dropped down. This hand holds onto the opposite knee and breathe. Bring it back to the center. One more time on each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, return. Inhale, twist. Exhale, and come back. Now we're going to put one foot in and one foot out. Some of you can get this tucked in right at the top, that's fine, or if you want it farther down, that's fine. What we're looking here for is, looks easy, but it isn't. You're trying to keep your back flat, so you're not rounding down and going down. You're gonna lift up, look across the room, lead with your upper chest going out, keeping your back flat, and take a little at a time. If your knee pops up a little bit, that's okay. Just walk your hands out and take your time getting there, pressing that low back down towards your thigh. Those of you who can reach for your arch, fine, or the tops of your feet, or just hold on to your calves and bring your back down flat. Then you can put your head down, see how far you can go. And in about a minute, or within a minute, you can get a little farther and a little farther down, slowly paying attention to what your body's telling you to do and what's okay today. And then come back up slowly, and let's try the other side. So this is going to be stretching your low back and your hamstrings primarily. Hands on the floor to begin with, foot up in front, straight up, okay? All right, flatten your back, look right across the room, walk your hands down, hold on to your legs somewhere and look down. For some of you, this may be the end of the asana. You're not going any further than this. And some of you, you can keep inching your way a little farther down till you touch your arch. Hold on, take a breath there. And sometimes it's nice to rest your hand on top of your foot and one there, or wrap your hands around your arch. So you're in your final part of this now, doing 2 or 3 breaths here. Really feeling those hamstrings lengthening. That's called eccentric, when your muscles lengthen. One more time, inhale and exhale and come back up slowly. And return to your nice seated position like you just were in before. Now we're going to work upper back between the shoulder blades, high up. We're just going to take our hands. Now you want your back rounded and push your hands straight out from your throat, right out there. So your arms are parallel to the floor and look down at the floor. You should be feeling this between your shoulder blades and on the upper outer part of your back. One more breath there, and then come up seated again. Next time we're going to work on opening up the pectoralis major, that's your major chest muscles, and the minor over here that go into your shoulder. So you're going to reach behind, clasp your hands, then open up your chest. Now some of you, this is hard to do, and you might not get any farther up than that. If I turn sideways, I can show you. Because I know a lot of people in my class, this might be all the farther their hands go. But some people can lift all the way up pretty high. So you have to find a comfortable place that fits you today without hurting your shoulders. So very gently, inhale, exhale, lift up as high, and your body will tell you, don't do any more, that's it. Hold it there and take 3 breaths. Close your eyes. One more, using that prana, that breath. Okay, and the last muscle groups we want to get stretched out before we get into it are quadriceps and our hips. So we're going to turn sideways on your mat. We've done this before, but if you're new to this today, just follow along. Lie back down. Both legs are out, and just relax a second. Bend your right leg and get a hold of your right ankle. And you're just going to drop that knee down and in. So you've got to flip your foot over on its side and drop the knee down. Now some of you will be real stiff and your knee might be up in the air like that because it doesn't go any farther, and that's okay. Some of you can get it down a little closer, And some of you who have been doing yoga for a while, you might want to pick up your other foot and weight it down and pull it some more. But be careful, because you're really going to feel that outer quadricep right where it connects into your hip. Take 3 nice breaths here, and again, close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Slide that foot out. Get a hold of your left ankle. Flip it over on its side. Draw that heel up close to your body. And drop your knee down as far as it'll go. And you might find one hip is tighter than the other. One day it is and one day it isn't. So see how tight in you can get that. All right, here we go. Now again, some of you might want to just rest gently. Rest your foot on there, pulling it down. 3 breaths. Close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And come out of that. All right. Gotta see what's next now. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna start with knees to our chest. And you just want to open your knees a little bit. They're not together. Just open them up a little bit, okay? And then you're just gently gonna pull your knees down. And then you'll feel your spine flattening down. Now a beginner, if you've never done this, then just do it this way and you're gonna rock side to side, working on your back ribs. Some of you that want a little more of a challenge, do the baby pose, where you put your feet up in the air and you hold on to your toes. They both are going to do the same thing. This is just more advanced. Or you can hold on to your calves and gently rock, dropping your knee down to the floor. Or if your legs are down, just roll all the way over. And all the way over. Just gently massaging your back ribs. Those of you with the feet up in the air, your knee's gonna go down and bring it back up. It feels really nice on your back. Over. One more on each side. And then we're gonna do some low spine rolls. So you just dropped your feet back down. This is a very simple one to do, but it really feels good. Palms down, heels close to your body. You're going to lift your pelvis up and curl, but you're only going to go up to your navel and then bring it back down. So take an inhale, exhale, curl and lift. And this is all the higher you'll get. And back down again slowly. Inhale, exhale, lift, hips up, but only to your waist, and then back down again. 3 more of those. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, down, exhale, lift, inhale, down. Last one. Bring it up and bring it down. Oop. Okay, so again, this is your arms are in a T, and you draw your knees up, and we're going to just drop it over to the right. And now, here's the hard part. Keep both shoulder blades down and turn your head to the left. If you feel like your legs are sliding away from you, hold on to them and weight them down. That'll really give you a nice stretch through your hip area. And turn your head to the left and take a couple of breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, exhale. One more breath, 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Bring it back to neutral. Keep your arms out. Let's go down to 9 o'clock. So drop those knees over and turn your head to the right. If you can't get your knees at 9, move them down. If that's more comfortable, just let them slide in at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, somewhere in there. If you can get it all the way up to 9, that's what your ultimate goal is. Hold on if you need to. Breathe in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And bring that back. Losing my notes here. Okay, now we want to, we're going to come up to all fours. So the easiest way is just roll over and come up onto all fours. And we're just going to do cat-cow, another basic yoga pose. But again, it works on your spinal flexion. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders and walk your knees back so they're under your hips. Don't have them in like this. Walk it back. So now you've got a flat back to start with. Then round up and come down and cave your back in. Lift your tailbone up and lift your head up. And then do just the opposite. Drop your head and drop your tailbone and arch your back. Then come back again, lift your tailbone up and your head up and let your back cave in. And one more time, bring it all the way up and all the way down. Now we're going to take our opposite leg, opposite hand, and bring it out. And then roll down and bring it in. And then stretch it out and bring it in. And stretch it out and bring it in. And one more time, stretch it out and bring it in. Switch sides. Other leg out, other hand out. Balance there. Tuck it all in, tuck your head down. Bring it back out, lift that leg as high as you can, right opposite of your hip. And bring it in. And bring it out. And bring it in. And bring it out. 2 more. And bring it in. And out. 1 more. Bring it in. And out. And the next one is child's pose, one of my favorite ones. Big toes are going to touch together, knees open up. Then sit down on your heels. If that's too hard to get there, grab a block or a pillow from home and put the block under your tailbone. And then walk your hands out and rest your head. If you have a hard time getting your head to the floor, you can also rest your forehead on the block as you go all the way down, like that. If some of you don't need the block at all, then get that out of the way and put your head to the floor and your hips to your heels. And breathe. 5 breaths in and out, and in and out. 3 more breaths in and out and in and out, and 1 more in and out, and come up to all fours. And then we're going to come up to downward facing dog from this position. So your hands are facing forward. Curl your toes under and lift your body up, and you're in a V. Then slide your weight back. Press your heels down as best as you can. Rotate your elbows in and practice your breathing. Breathe in. Lift your tailbone too. I forgot to tell you that. If your knees need to bend a little, do that. If they can go straight back, that's fine. If that's too hard, bend them. And go back. Breathe in and out, and breathe in and out. 3 more breaths. Breathe in and out. Last time, breathe in and out. walk it up. Walk your feet up, walk your hands up, and come up slowly. Okay. So we did our downward facing dog, and we're coming back out of that now and standing up again. And we're going to work our way to a forward fold, standing forward fold. So we'll be back into Tadasana like we talked about before. So again, your heels are going to flare out a teeny bit. And then remember the heels face the second and third toe. Open up your palms and stand up nice and straight. And then we're just going to do a forward fold. I like to teach it with your hands on your hips so that you push your hip back. You may bend your knees a little here, it's fine. Keep your flat back. See if I'm keeping a nice flat back as I go down now? I'm not hunching and rolling down that way. I'm trying to keep an upright position, then going back, keeping that flat back, and then I'm going to hinge down and hang down from my hips. Drop my arms, hold on with your elbows, and drop your head down, and just hang there. You can even move it a little side to side. Your legs can be bent a little, that's okay. But see if you can just hang down and let that back just droop down there. Breathing it in and out and in and out and in and out. Hands on your knees and come up slowly. Coming back into Tadasana, hands open. And we're going to reach our hands up over our head. And bring our hands down. Close your eyes and breathe it in and out. One more breath in and drop your arms. Palms out and come up and bring it down. Close your eyes and breathe it in and out and in and out. Now we're going to try to go down to a full squat. It's called a garland. If you have bad knees, you probably don't want to get all the way down, and you might want your block handy to help get you back up again. So if you want a block, have that right there. And what you're going to try to do is, it's like pulling out a chest of drawers. You're going to take your hips and move them back and go down. You might start just like this. This could be a beginning way. And I'm trying to keep over my knees here. And my hips are way out behind me. Eventually, now if you want to just stay there, stay there. If you want to make it more of a challenge, put your hands on the floor, drop down. You might have to get your feet in the right position and slide down. And try to get your balance. Sometimes it's good to put a block under your foot to help hold you there. And put your hands in prayer. Oops, I'm losing my balance. So if you want to roll up a mat and stick it under your heels, or slide a book under each foot, anything that would stabilize your heels. I just didn't have any of that ready today. Then when you're ready to come up, shift your weight forward and lift your hips up and come up slowly. The next one now will be Tadasana again, and then going in a chair. So wide-legged, stand up, swing your arms out, pull your drawer back out again, drop down, bring your arms up by your ears, and hold this. Breathe it in and out, and in, and out, and in, and out. One more breath, in and out, and come up slowly. Now we're doing a wide-legged standward fold, forward fold. So you want your legs nice and far apart. Again, when you go down, we'll do the same thing we did before. And this time we're going to try to get both hands to the floor. Some of you won't be able to get that far. You can rest your hands right here on your shins. Or grab a block and rest your hands on a block. Those of you that can get to the floor, that's your ultimate goal, is to get there. Feet facing forward, hips in line. Okay, hands on your hips, stand up nice and straight. Inhale, exhale, push your hips back. Go down with a beautiful flat back. Keep going. Hanging your head upside down. Letting your hair fall forward toward the floor. Now, some of you just can rest your hands on your legs. Put them on the floor. Use a block. Some of you can go way out. This is where you can adjust it now. And get your head all the way to the floor. Or on a block. So find a place where you are comfortable. Move your feet out as far as you can get them. And let that head hang upside down. Hands are in under your body, between your 2 feet. Heads down. Keep breathing. One more breath. Lift your head up. Those of you with the really wide legs apart, slowly start windshield wiping your feet back in. And then put your hands on your knees. And then roll up slowly so you don't get dizzy. Now, we're just going to switch into Warrior 2. You've already got your legs out. We're just going to flip to one side of your mat. And your hips stay turned out toward the long edge of the mat. And then you lift up your arms. This is where you can adjust your feet now and get ready. Keeping your body upright. And then both hands even, so one's not higher than the other, and sink down. Beginners, you might want to stay up high. Those of you that want to challenge yourself, sink down a little farther. Keeping your chest lifted. Breathe. And the hips are rolled out, as I said, to the side of your mat. Now let's just shift our weight around, come up slowly. Rotate that other foot around the other way. Get your arms up. Make sure this knee is over this heel in front. The back foot's flipped in sideways. Draw your body back till you know you're up and down. And then just push out in front and push out and back. And breathe. Okay. Now, we're just going to keep the front leg bent. Slide down. On your way, grab a block and put it on the floor. Or if you don't have a block, hold on to your ankle. And then you're going to roll out. If you've got a book or a block handy, rest your hand there. Turn that top arm way up, trying to get it to 12 o'clock, and open up that shoulder. Now we're just going to slide back and straighten that front leg. Notice how I took my hand and put it behind my back? And I'm trying to get my fingers around to touch my hip as I turn sideways and look across the room or up at the ceiling. Come down slowly. Stay down there. Walk it around to the other side. Put your block down on the floor. Bend your front knee. Raise your other arm up. Take your time coming up, up, up. Bring that shoulder back. Hold that up there and breathe. If you want to close your eyes, you can, and you really got to work on your balance. One more breath there. Come down. No, sorry, keep this arm here, straighten your front leg, and pull this back. That's what I meant to do. So pulling that top shoulder back. 2 more breaths there. And then we're almost done. Come around. Put both hands on the floor and drag that long leg in. And then come up. Okay, another basic yoga pose is tree. And if you hold on to something or a wall, you can start learning to do tree, putting your foot way up here. If that's a little scary and too high up, you can stand against a wall or a chair and just put your foot down with your big toe touching the floor and stand up straight and let go. And bring your arms up and turn your knee out. So if I've got my big toe on the floor, I can keep my balance a lot easier. If that's too easy, move your foot up to your calf. Now you have nothing to lean on, and that foot's just on your calf. Bring one arm up, let go of the wall or the chair, and get both arms up. And the more advanced way is bringing it way up to the top, turning it out. Raise your outside arm, and then slowly do your other arm like that. So let's turn around and try the other side now. If you want to put your hand on a chair or no chair, but it's easier to start off on the wall or a chair. So start standing nice and straight with your big toe touching. See how you do with that. If you want to move it up to your calf, fine. Bring your outside arm up. If you need to keep holding onto the wall, hold on. Let go if you want to try it or not. And then if you want to try the real harder way, all the way up. Cramping there, there we go. Bring that up, outside arm up. Long time ago I broke this ankle on this side, so I have a hard time standing on this side. Okay, bring that arm down and come down. Back down to the floor. And we are done. So, just come down and close your eyes. And we're going to lie back down for 1 minute in Savasana, the corpse pose. You would want to do it for 10 minutes at home. But I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch me lie there for 10 minutes, so we're only doing for 1 minute for the video. But if you're doing this tape at home and you want to lengthen it, lie back down. But here again, this is where we're trying to declutter our mind and focus on your breath the whole time. But today we'll just do 1 minute. But try it at home for 4, 5, 6 minutes, and then 10 minutes. And then even more if you want to. So you're going to lie down, open up your palms, let your feet just flop open. Make sure both feet are even, so you don't have one farther down than the other. Make sure your ankles are turned out. Your buttocks muscles just flatten down. Your shoulder blades make contact with the earth, as does your shoulders, elbows, and the back of your hands. And then make sure your chin is up a little bit to keep that natural curve in your back and your neck there. And I'm just going to count to 60, but the whole time we're going to practice that belly breathing, breathing in a belly coming up and coming down. So you go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to count to 60 and we'll all practice our breathing. Here we go. More seconds. Focusing on your breath. 15. One more breath. Good. Draw your knees up. Roll over. Press on the floor. Come back to your seated position the way we started. Whatever's comfortable for you. Drawing your head up, getting that spine nice and straight again. And we bring our index finger down in honor of a higher being, and your thumbs hold that in place. You can repeat after me. This is a nice mantra to learn. May I find love. Now you say that. May I be healthy. May I be free. May I find peace. May I be grateful. And remember, when we say namaste, it means I bow to you. I'm bowing to all of you. Namaste.